cautionary fable for the Anthropocene era. And my mother, Micaela, Amato, is here, and she did the paintings in the book. She'll be showing you images as we go. So the first part of the book is image and text, narrative and text. The second portion is about 400 footnotes of economic, historical, literary, environmental references, ecological references. So it's divided into both. And this is a combination excerpts from both interwoven. So extraordinarily excerpted for our mini presentation. Did you catch what I just said?
Most.
Part of it? Okay. So these are heavily excerpted. And Zazu Dreams is a fable for adults written as a children's narrative. A tale of climate justice. A Sephardic boy and his imaginary Malamute husky traverse the globe on a humpback whale. Crossing temporal dimensions and international borders, past, present, and future overlap with historical heroes such as Maimonides, Doña Gracia Nazi, and Ibn Sina. And 21st century villains, big pharma, big oil, and agribusiness giants who stalk the planet. Our mother-daughter artist author team integrates two seemingly unrelated topics, Jewish and Arabic philosophies with consumer convenience petroculture. So the various characters, this will be the character of Zazu, who's actually about 10 years old in the book. And then we have the Neo-Assyrian Mushishuhu, the dragon from the gate of Ishtar, and Iraqi ant Tia Zubadia. So I'll wear this. And then also, as I said, the footnotes are integral to the text itself, to the narrative. So when I read the footnote characters, footnote references, if you would participate with me, I'm going to put my hand behind one ear, and if you would respond simply by extra listening with one hand on either side of your ears. No, please. I don't mind other bodies coming in here. Okay. So if you'll do that when I am the footnote reference. Coco Miso was behaving strangely. She began to dig and dig and dig, and dug up what looked like a fossil, a mosaic of some kind of animal reptile that looked like a dog or a big cat. We weren't sure if it was a real fossil or had been hidden there by Joha the trickster. The mosaic opened its fiery mouth, speaking directly to Coco Miso. I am not you. I am a Mushishuhu. I am a dragon, have you heard? Part serpent, part bird. I live as both, in both, earth and air, water and land, in Iraq and Iran. I cannot be seen, for I breathe the in-between. But you, Doggin boy, know that I am here once you leave our atmosphere. I will speak with candor. My home was split, and now you must find the amber. The Mushishuhu is a Neo-Assyrian Iraqi, Iraqi dragon mosaic found at the gate of Ishtar in Babylon, ancient Iraq. What in the world was this scaly creature saying? Were the Mushishuhu's words like Ladino rhyming songs? Traditional rhyming songs were adaptations of biblical stories, particularly from the Midrash. Similarly, African-American slaves communicated among themselves in riddles that the white slave owners could not understand. Coco Miso was listening intently. Coco Miso is the husky. Coco Miso was listening intently. She looked a little perplexed as she unraveled Mushishuhu's words. It continued, "Those who are deaf to history say it is a sham, even though Iraq was the birthplace of your patriarch Abraham. Since you found me, I can finally return to my home in Iraq. I will carry you through as we travel each and every cranny and crack. We will travel across ancient Mesopotamia, the land that lies between the two great rivers that now lack. Surrounded by desert, the ecoregions of the Tigris-Euphrates included shallow lakes, swamps, and vast marshes. An extraordinarily rich agricultural area This part of the Fertile Crescent was once known as the cradle of civilization. Now many nations and megacorporations fight over ownership of water rights. Irrigation strategies that dam the Tigris-Euphrates benefit to Turkish residents, while they reduce Syrians' access by 40% and Iraqis' access by 90%. Iraq suffers significant water shortage and reduced crop yields because of drought. Their water infrastructure, like in Flint, Michigan, Newark, New Jersey, and much of the United States, must also recover from years of neglect and conflict. The result of these water battles is deepening violence over water rights, not water shortage. There is plenty of water for all. As with our international epidemic of malnutrition, there is more than enough food in the world. The problem is not quantity, but rather distribution, infrastructure, and quality. Across the Tigris-Euphrates Valley River system we go. Since you found me in the spaces between the sand grains, I know. Sand grains are porous and permeable. The world's largest accumulations of oil and gas are found in the spaces between sand grains. Like Spinoza as a lens maker for the microscope and telescope, Rachel Carson was in awe of the simultaneity of macrocosms and microcosms, worlds literally between grains of sand. She tells us our human senses cannot grasp its scale, a world in which the microdroplet of water separating one grain of sand from another is like a vast, dark sea. We soon arrived at Babylon's Ishtar Gate, adorned with dragons and canine-like creatures. When I asked the Mushushu how the Mesopotamian king could build a tribute to Ishtar, the goddess of love, and also destroy Jerusalem, it snarfled. Ishtar is not only the goddess of love, Ishtar is the goddess of war. Festooned between the Tigris and the Euphrates were the many hearts she tore. I do not care that I have no dragon's lair, but this is my home, so I no longer have to roam. Once inside the gate, it is my fate to return to my original fragmented state. But before I shift, remember, we can only heal the rift. With that, the Mushushu disassembled, becoming a mosaic once again. Zazu and Kokomiso travel across Iraq to meet their great-great Tia Zubadia. But beware, we cannot assume that what we see is what there is. Some people think Ladino is a fossilized language, like this beetle preserved in an amber deposit, forever unchanging. But Ladino is alive. It is like this shofar, the ram's horn, blown to signal the holy days and link us to the divine. It reminds us of our commitment to humility that allows us to look at relationships among many things. Our relationship to this ram's horn is our breath, the interaction between human and divine. Our coexistence brings us beauty and joy, like the bending and adaptability of a reed. The spiraling bend in a shofar reminds us that everything is always changing, offering multiple perspectives. Well, thank you very much. A few points. Copies will be for sale. My son, Zazu, who's the inspiration for this book, is here. I wrote the book originally because PJ Library actually didn't have any representation of Jews other than Ashkenazi Jews, and I wanted some references out there. There is actually almost nothing in children's literature, and then this book became a transgenerational book, again for adults to be read to children, and then for older kids also. And it's being used as a baseline for a curriculum for a new forest school here in Ithaca, and we're also adapting it to the stage, musical, Zazu Dreams, and to a feature-length film production. So we're going to be starting a Kickstarter campaign to support that, and we have an email list, and I'd love for you to come to our next event. I'm doing a series of science panels, inviting scientists locally from Cornell and also from out of town, from Ithaca College too, and from out of town to discuss storytelling in the sciences as a way to catalyze change and social action.
When is
March 6th is the next one. That's going to be, I think, at Eco Village.
At Ithaca Village?
At Eco
Eco
Village.
Village.
Eco Village.
Yeah,
Oh, very
yeah.
good.
So please give me that information. Thank you.